Alright, what up? Man, it's been a while since I made one of these videos again, which is, it kind of feels like that's how I always start one of these videos, just talking about how it's been a couple months since I've filmed one of these videos. This time, it is kind of the same, a little bit different. Kaylee and I kind of planned a very last minute trip. And my job was just offering me overtime every week, so I was working 6 days a week for about 2 months. And then Kaylee and I went on a like 9-day trip out west. We saw a bunch of national parks. Really awesome time. Now we're back. I just finished the work week and I actually have a full weekend for the first time in a while. So, yeah, besides that, I've just been, I've been selling some shit, trying to fund a camera upgrade. I'm going on another trip in December, so I'm hoping to have a pretty dramatic camera upgrade between now and then. So, I'll make it happen. Besides that, we are in the, like, end days of September now. And Kaylee is in full Halloween mode, and you know, I'm down with that. So yeah, we're gonna talk about some records today. Kind of sort of all over the place, really. But overall, we're gonna kind of stay on the weirder end of things. Though I also am going to talk about some like Dungeon Synth and Darkwave today, on top of the funky black metal stuff. Alright, here's what we're playing in the background, for those of you who can hear it, which is actually pretty loud, you should be able to. This is Book of Skelos with Magical Atavism. This is out of season. It's kind of like 8-bit, sort of Dungeon Synthy type stuff. But I fucking love this. This is up there with some of my favorite stuff I've heard this year, so that'll be in the description below. I'll throw the Bandcamp in there. Alright, we're gonna start off with something that I pre-ordered last year, I think. And it took a little while, but it came a few months ago now. And I don't know if anybody else on YouTube has shown it. So this is something that I pre-ordered through Livor Mortis last year, and it was the first time I'd ever directly ordered from Livor Mortis, and I was told to expect long waits and shit like that, and that is what happened. But you know, it eventually came, and it's fucking awesome. So this is Heroin Makes Happy with Psychonautic Satanic Sickness, and Heroin Makes Happy is this guy here, who is the guy behind Grossamkite, along with a volley of other projects. Though Grossamkite is probably the most popular. But this is a really interesting one. So this compilation includes everything that this project did up until 2000. And I'm not clear on whether or not this project is still active. There are some like recent like splits with Heroin Makes Happy material, but I'm not sure off the top of my head if those are new songs or if they are just songs from some of the older material. So this compilation includes 5 records total, and the way that I sort of describe this is like it gets weirder with each release. And also the vocals get a bit more sparse as the releases go on as well. So what I love about this is the mixture of very lo-fi production and super heavy synth use. And I don't really even know if you can consider all of this black metal. Like, some of it is just too far, you know, gone from like orthodox black metal. So I don't know, I guess it's up for, you know, your own personal interpretation. This is what he does when another dog walks by. Look at this shit. What a piece of shit. What a piece of shit. Anyway, I love the super blown out vocals, very nasty sort of wretches with like the occasional singing. Also just kind of works with the, you know, the general weirdness of the music here. So let me show you what this looks like. This is just a black box with this like glued onto it. I mean, it's nicely glued, it ain't going anywhere. But the back is the same way, with just some information down at the bottom and all of the releases that this comes with, which I'll show you one by one what they look like. And the Heroin Makes Happy logo on the side is also just glued on. This also like isn't one of the clamshell boxes, it's just like one of the, you just slide everything into it. But this does include a fucking bunch of patches. They're not high quality patches by fucking any means. They're literally just these like little fabric ones. You can actually see through it. But I will show you what they look like. Like low quality of this sort of works with, you know, the music, and I imagine just the general attitude of the project itself. So just Heroin Makes Happy logo patch. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't think, well, whatever, you get it, like that. And like I said, this does come with 5 records. I'm not going to even pull them out because they are just those like fold over sort of covers. They're not even like real jackets. So I'm not gonna pull the records out either. They're all black. So here's the first one here. This is my favorite of the releases, the first one. The Hong Kong Rocks demo or EP or whatever, the Hong Kong Rocks release, and the Last Silent Dream, or Last Silence Dream, I guess. But yeah, this is my favorite. This is the second record here. I hope these are in order, by the way. I'm pretty sure that they are. But this is It Makes Really Happy from 1999. This one here is Heroin Is My Queen. I don't know, a heroin themed sort of weird black metal project. The world never knew they needed it, but this is Nothing Is Better Than here. This is really, like, by this point you really are sort of so far afield from like black metal, and a lot of the times like vocals are super spread out on these tracks. So this is sort of like, I don't like these last two quite as much. Here's the last one here. You got Donald Duck. It says Demos 2000. The back cover of that one. It looks like the Demos 2000 release includes, what the fuck does that even say? What does this say? A polytoxocomin? And I like the other one is called, the other demo on this record is called It's Not Too Late to Say Yes to H. But on the back of the record it says It's Not Too Late for Say Yes to H, which I'm taking this as canon. So kind of a weird theme for a black metal project, I guess, but I always encourage people to do what makes them happy. So if what makes you happy is heroin, then fucking work, queen. Seriously though, some of you guys might really like this if you've never heard it. Hopefully you enjoy what I put in the song clip. What that will be yet, I'm not certain. I'll figure it out in post. But yeah, that's Heroin Makes Happy with Psychonautic Satanic Sickness. Alright, this is an Old Nick record. I have a couple more Old Nick records on the way that have been, well, one of them is still on pre-order, and it'll probably be next year when I actually end up getting it. But I've been keeping up with the Old Nick stuff as best I can. This is the most recent record that has actually shown up, I think. This is the Curse of the Lockmaster Witch of the Northern Ville compilation here. It's just 2 EPs that came out in 2020. I believe these 2 EPs are the first material following the first full-length album, Forest of Grief, I think. Honestly, like, along with the first full-length album, if you're not super into like the weirdness that Old Nick is kind of known for, I think if you were to like anything, these 2 releases here would probably be your best bet alongside the first full-length record. And that's just because like the weirdness here is sort of subtle by old Nick standards. At this point, this project is focusing mostly on the super weirdness, with black metal being kind of peripheral, or just like the framework for which the weirdness is built upon is black metal. But all the sort of eclectic sounds that is mixed with the black metal here are sort of more like eccentric flares on this, as opposed to being the main player. At least on most of it. I'm sure there are probably exceptions here, but regardless, these are two fantastic releases. Super lo-fi production, very like sharp guitars, and you know, the shrieky vocals. I fucking love it, man. And Obscurant Visions did this, and did a pretty good job with it too. There was a few versions of it. I know there was like clear with red splatter. There was also black, and then this one, I think there was one more, but I don't remember what the color scheme would have been. Anyway, there's the front cover there, sort of a kind of mashup of like the themes of the two individual releases here. There's the back cover right there. Just sort of have like thematically relevant pieces of art all over this. GSR, but put out through Obscurant Visions. Yeah, great. Then you have Witch of the Northern Veil cover there, and Curse of the Lockmaster cover on the inner sleeve, or inner sheet rather. And the record itself, I could have gotten the most limited version of this, but I actually wanted this version because I didn't have a record that looked quite like this. And it looks like this. It's a blue and yellow swirl. A lot of the people who I have seen with this version, theirs looks more like greenish. Like this is the most blue one of these that I've seen, but it actually looks really cool. Like I said, I just don't have a record that, you know, looks quite like this, but I dig it. But yeah, not much to say. I feel like, you know, I've talked enough about Old Nick on this channel at this point that if you haven't heard it, it's probably because you don't want to. But like genuinely, this is one of my favorite things happening in like the black metal sphere right now, because it just, you know, it's not Darkthrone for the 5 billionth fucking time. I love this shit. There's a few songs on here that I'll recommend. Sequestered Bat, Wailing Well Phantom, Gallowhounds, and A Haunting in York. Fucking awesome, man. I really like this project. Like I said, I've got a couple more on the way. The second full-length album and the third full-length album, actually, both. But I'm hoping there will be more compilations of EPs, because fucking Lord knows Old Nick's got enough of them. So, yeah, man. Check it out if you are interested and never heard it. That's Curse of the Lockmaster and Witch of the Northern Veil. Alright, moving on. We're going to talk about some, I guess technically Dungeon Synth, though this is sort of specified as something a bit different. This is Serpents Isle with Serpents Isle. It's actually another compilation, which I didn't think about it until just now, but everything I've shown so far has been a compilation. I probably could have made us a fucking theme for today, but I didn't think about it. This is everything that this project has done up to this point. I don't know if this is like a sort of a send-off release and maybe the project is done with. I don't know. This is a US-based project here, and the guy behind this is responsible for like unbounded scores of like Dungeon Synth and black metal projects. I haven't heard them all, not even close. I've only heard a few of them. But I really enjoy this. I like the theme here, and the sound sort of carries that theme perfectly. This just has a very dark, emotive sort of quality to it. And the nautical theme works even without the sounds of like seagulls and waves and shit that you can hear throughout this compilation here. Which, by the way, this includes Legends of the Ancient Bay, Archaic Oceans, Tales of Frigid Waters, The Quiet Lakes, and Old Lost Tales. And I really like all of the song titles too, because they all play into that nautical theme. and it really just sets an atmosphere for this record, and I really enjoy this. This was also put out through Out of Season, same as what we're listening to, like I said. I guess I've been on a sort of a synth kick lately, but this is fantastic, so I'll show you what it looks like here. Just a sea monster, I guess. It kind of looks like a bird a little bit, but with like scales, and he's got a necklace on, which is nice. There's the back cover there, just like extended art from the front. All of the individual releases and song titles, and like I said, this was put out through Out of Season. This does include an inner sheet with all of the individual releases, like what their cassette versions look like, which is cool. The other side of this is just like a reverse from the front cover. But if you can't tell, it is signed by the guy behind this project. And it says Fantasy Sea Synth. This is a double LP. I do like the labels on some of these quite a bit. I'll show you. There's side D there. It's just more like a sort of sea monster type art. I don't know if this art is from anything specific, but look at that guy. He's handsome. The records themselves are actually quite cool. Limited to 300 copies, and I don't know if they were all this color scheme, but it is half blue, half clear, which is nice. I like that. Very cool. So, if nautical themed Dungeon Synth sounds like something that might interest you, it would definitely, it's definitely worth a shot. This is, I think, really good, especially just for the atmosphere that it creates. Again, with something like this, you're gonna have to listen to more than what I put in the song clip, because, you know, 10 seconds doesn't create an atmosphere like 2 full records does. So, check it out, man. That's really good stuff. That's Serpents Isle. Alright, moving on. This is a project from Russia, and there was a release from this band from last year, which I talked about on this channel a few videos back. The last time I talked about this band, it was the release that came out before this, the full-length album that came out before this, because this is an EP, but in my opinion, this is the best material to date from this project. And I'm talking about this. This is Barros with Oasis. So, yeah, this is another one of the bands that sort of live in like the kind of black magic SS sphere, but I guess without the same aesthetic. And when I talked about that last record, which the fucking title is in Russian, I don't remember what it translates to. It's something witches. But anyway. When I talked about that, I mentioned that that record in some ways was missing like a really punchy element. It just needed one thing sort of turned up in the mix to really push it over the top. And I feel like this did what I was hoping it would do. I think this has like the most catchy songs so far. And it also really just kind of takes the sort of psychedelic rock elements and turns them up a bit. And it creates just some really, really fun black metal themed occult rock type shit. I don't know, I hate trying to fit this shit into a genre just to like describe it for people who have never heard it, because it doesn't fit into any one genre. And, you know, somebody else who listens to this could very well have a very different takeaway than I do if I do try and box it into a genre. So I'd rather leave it sort of ambiguous, but I think you kind of get the idea if you've never heard this project before. Anyway, I like the album cover. It's a little cartoony. It's actually very cartoony, but this band's got a cool logo anyway. There's the back cover right there. This was put out through Barbados Productions, same as the last one. And same as the last one, it was limited to 50 copies. And I have number 15. 50 copies is very, very limited, and you know, as far as I know, there hasn't been a repress of this or anything, but you know, hopefully it happens, and hopefully you fucking make more than 50, because I know goddamn well there's more than 50 people who want one of these. This does include a couple stickers, which I'm not even sure that the stickers were like universal. I think there was different stickers for, you know, different copies. But it also includes a poster, and the poster is just of the album cover, which is quite nice. And the vinyl itself, same as the last one, is white. You know, nice thick vinyl, very cool. I dig it. I swear to God, dude, if when I go to edit this video and the background music is louder than me, it might be another few months before you guys get one of these, because I had to fight myself to get up and actually do this right now. I guess it's like, it really is just a motivation death that I've experienced with this. I don't know, I guess it's probably for a few reasons, but the big one for me is like the YouTube landscape of guys who do what I do in these videos is just like, it's very nearly all the way dead. And I just, you know, I think back to like, you know, 2013 or like 2014 when I started doing this, when there was all these guys making videos on a consistent basis, and every time you opened YouTube there was shit to watch, like in this sort of realm. And it just seems fucking dead now. Like, there's a couple guys who do it that I still watch, and I you know, there's a good chance you already know who you are. But like, if there's a bunch of new guys doing this shit, like, I just don't know about it. And you know, that's not, if you're watching this and you make one of these videos, that's not your fault. I've sort of been burnt out on even watching content like this, you know, so every now and then I'll go on like a bender of like one guy who's uploaded 4 or 5 videos and just watch all of them, you know, in succession. But, you know, as it is, like, right now, I've just sort of been burnt out. If you do have a channel and you want me to check it out, let me know in the comments. But whatever, not what we're talking about. Sorry about that, fucking impromptu rant there. Give this one a whirl, man. That's good shit. Barros, Oasis. It is getting kind of dark in here. Winter is coming. Well, fall is actually, the first day of fall is tomorrow, so it's gonna start getting darker earlier. Let's talk about something totally different. What do I want to show next? Yeah, let's talk about this. This is a death metal, classic death metal. I never owned a copy of this on any format. Well, no. I had a box set from this band, the 25-year anniversary box set. Came with all the CDs up until the like 12th full-length album or something like that. Maybe, I don't know. But anyway, the box set included a CD version of this, but I never had like a standalone version of this album on any format. This is The Bleeding by Cannibal Corpse, obviously. Fucking classic, man. This is the 4th full-length album from 1994. And as you can tell, this is a Nessie version of this, which this actually, yeah, I guess this would be the first Nessie record I've ever shown on this channel. And Nessie stands for, I think it's Northeastern Steel Industry or something like that. Yeah, I only have one other Nessie record, and it is Beherit, Drawing Down the Moon. But when I saw these Cannibal Corpse ones go up, I knew I wanted to get this one. I almost got Eaten Back to Life too. And I don't know why I didn't. Maybe just because Nessie records are fucking expensive right out the gate. It's like 50 bucks for the record and to ship from like China, I think. So there's absolutely no reason for me to talk about the music here, though what I will say is this is the first sign that something about Cannibal Corpse had changed, even if just a little bit. And I think a big part of that is the vocals were not as deep and brutal as on like Butchered at Birth or Tomb of the Mutilated. You know, there were some more like high-pitched sort of shrieky screams on this one and the growls themselves were just not as like Cookie Monster-y, I guess. They weren't as deep and brutal, like I said. And that trend only continued on for Chris Barnes. Like the first 6 Feet Under album is great, and to be honest, I like some songs throughout the discography. You know, for the most part, 6 Feet Under is just like, it's just unrepentant dog shit. Especially like those newer records, man. Oh my goodness. Fantastic album cover, obviously. It does include an Obi strip. When I bought this, there was two versions. There was a version that was limited to 180, which is this one, and there was a version that was limited to 100. But when it went up, I was just being too quick on the draw. I meant to get the one that was limited to 100, but got this one and then realized I bought the wrong one. My fault, totally my fault, and this version is really nice regardless, so I don't care that much. There's the back cover here. I am going to put something else on in just a moment here. I know you can probably tell that the background has gotten silent. And yeah, pictures of the guys, track listing, whatever. This does include whatever this is. I don't really know, like, that's not in English, so I can't read any of this. I don't know if these are lyrics. It could be lyrics. I honestly don't know. The inner sleeve also includes the lyrics in English and a big collage of, you know, old pictures from the band, but like you see fucking Jim Carrey right there. The vinyl itself is gorgeous. The difference between the 180 version, which is this, is I think the one that was limited to 100 had red stripes as well as yellow. But yeah, that looks really nice. Fucking gorgeous. And finally, it includes a poster. And the poster is actually on pretty like thick paper, which is nice, but it's just a big square of the album cover. No band logo or anything. Very cool. Definitely a classic fucking death metal record, and I am sort of a basic bitch with this one. My favorite song on here is Fucked With A Knife, for sure. But, you know, the whole record is great all the way through. So, yeah, man, you don't even, you know what this shit is. That's The Bleeding by Cannibal Corpse. Alright, so this is another tape I just got pretty recently. I got two tapes from this band actually. Hex Commando, this is Incense. Really fucking strange sort of mixture of like, I don't know. It's like, there's like noise elements and also it's like very beat driven. Parts of it almost sound dark wavy. Really kind of strange mixture, but I dig it. This is put out through Junkie and Proud. Great stuff. Anyway, speaking of Darkwave, actually, I'm going to talk about a Darkwave record here. I was very excited to see this happen, and this is another pre-order that took a long fucking time, but, you know, it came eventually, and that's really what actually matters. So this is kind of the band that got me into the Darkwave stuff at the very beginning. And I am talking about this. This is Forever Grey with Alabaster Chamber. So in 2016, I think it was, Forever Grey put out two full-length records. And I believe this was the second of the two. And they both, like I said, came out the same year. And I'm not really sure why this is the one to get the vinyl press. This is only the second of the Forever Grey releases to have been put on vinyl, apart from Departed that came out 2019, maybe 2020, fuck. But this is probably the material that I'm the most familiar with. Great songs on this one. The Style is Death. The Hunger is another really good one. Love is Temporary. Winter Has Ended Her Early, Haunted Symbols. This is pretty straightforward, kind of like Darkwave, but every now and then there's just something kind of off the wall that happens that's just super fucking cool. And like I said, I'm just glad to see Forever Grey putting something else out on vinyl, and I'd like to see the remainder of the discography put to vinyl as well. Love the album cover. I like the sort of star map and the naked woman with the flowers. It's just, I don't know, it's really cool. There might be some sort of message here, but I don't really know what it might be. There's the back cover right there. You have the people in the band and all the track listing. This was put out through Young and Cold Records, based out of Germany. I love the inner sleeve. Really, really cool picture of the members of the band there. And this does include the lyrics. I think this was limited to 300 copies, and they were all on the same color, white with heavy black splatter. This is gorgeous. Very, very nice. Yeah, very cool. If you haven't heard Forever Grey, basically you sum it up, like it is pretty straightforward, Darkwave. The male vocals are very deep, while the female vocals are almost very blown out and kind of ghostly, which I like. The music itself is very beat driven a lot of the times, and I dig it. But yeah, Forever Grey. Put some more shit on vinyl. I'd like to have it all. This is really, really good stuff, and I encourage you, if you've never heard Forever Grey, listen to it. If you don't like Darkwave, this probably won't change your mind, but I dig it regardless. So that's Forever Grey, Alabaster Chamber.
A white rose in a coffee drink, a joke to give love. Goodbye until
Alright, let's do one more. This is an album that came out 30 years ago this year. And this is actually the 30th anniversary edition of this record. This is Typo Negative with Slow, Deep, and Hard. First Typo Negative record, put out in 1991. I don't think this was the first Typo Negative material. There might have been a couple demos or something leading up to this. I honestly don't know. I'm not super familiar with Typo Negative's discography as a whole. I know the full-length albums, especially the first 4, but you know, I'm not a massive Typo Negative fan to where I, you know, every fucking nook and cranny of their catalog. So yeah, but it is nice to finally own this record here. These Typo Negative records always seem to, like, once they sell out, they become super expensive or hard to find or something like that. But you know, at this point, I have this one, and I have Bloody Kisses, and I have October Rust on pre-order right now through the same label that did this one. But yeah, 30th anniversary edition. I don't really need to talk too much about the music on this one either. This record is almost like a perfect bridge between the Carnivore material and Bloody Kisses, which, you know, on paper sounds basically perfect. But I don't like this record as much as I do October Rust or Bloody Kisses. I don't know. They're fantastic songs on here regardless. I love the album cover. To be honest, like, for a while I wasn't sure what it was. Which is pretty fucking stupid now, because now, you know, now knowing that it is just like vaginal sex, like, it, you know, it makes sense now. I don't know, surely I'm not the only one, right? Like, did everybody know what this was when they first saw it? Probably. I'm a fucking idiot, who knows? Anyway, there's the album cover, very cool. Back cover right there, you got the 4 guys in the band. I understand that, like, Carnivore kind of just underwent a name change to Typo Negative, because I think there was the same band members, maybe plus somebody. I don't know. I'm so far from like a Typo Negative historian. I'm sure a few of you watching probably know. If you want to, you know, spell it out for the other people in the comment section, go ahead. I can just look it up. But this is actually a really nice quality record, very sturdy jacket. I like the Stay Negative right here. But I also like putting the band members as those at fault. It's quite cool. But yeah, man, very nice. This also includes a poster, which is just the picture that's on the back cover. Yeah, whatever. Don't love this as a poster, but different strokes, I guess. This is a double LP and limited to 2,500 copies on this like clear green vinyl, which is very nice. Fits perfectly, obviously, with the album cover and the overall aesthetic of Typo Negative as an entity. But yeah, double LP, clear green vinyl, very nice. And as I don't need to talk about the music too much, because there's not a person watching this video who doesn't know who Typo Negative is. Love them or hate them is entirely, you know, separate question. You know who Typo Negative is. I'm not cluing anybody in. I'm just showing that this is a nice quality pressing of the first record. So, yeah, good shit, man. That's slow, deep, and hard. And I'm gonna wrap this shit up. I made you guys wait a while for a new one, so this will probably be a bit of a long one. You're fucking welcome. I don't want it to be so fucking long. I mean, like I said, my motivation for this shit has tanked recently, which is why I've just, you know, I've been prioritizing literally everything else over this. But yeah, thanks for sticking around. I'm gonna try and get this edited today and maybe up tomorrow or so, but we'll see what happens. Yeah. Talk soon, guys. Later.
Вино мое искрится, бокал наполовину пустый, как бы не напиться. Я слышу из моих же уст: оставь меня в покое, хотя с тобою мне легко, и чувство мне шестое.